Greetings, salutations, hello! Today I'm going to talk about dreadlocks changing colour over time. Okay, so dreadlocks changing colour. Now, of course, you can bleach and you can dye dreadlocks, but what I'm going to talk about is dreadlocks changing colour by themselves over time. If you've looked at enough sets of dreadlocks, you may have noticed some examples where the dreadlocks have become lighter in colour over time. The longer the dreadlocks have been grown, the lighter in colour they may have become. Now, this effect is not unique to dreadlocks. You may have experienced it yourself with unlocked hair. If you go on a vacation to somewhere hot and sunny and spend time outside, you may come home to find that your skin has darkened and your hair has lightened. Your hair can become sun bleached. The longer you spend in the sun, the lighter your hair can become. While this effect is not unique to dreadlocks, it can be a lot more noticeable in dreadlocks for a couple of reasons. Number one, the same hairs are always going to be facing the sun. And number two, you tend to keep hairs for a lot longer in dreadlocks than you would with unlocked hair. With regular unlocked hair, the hair is a lot freer to move. You can have different layers of hair overlapping other layers of hair, and so the sunlight can get distributed among lots of different hairs as the hair moves around. With dreadlocks, this is not so much the case. You're generally always going to have the same dreadlocks on top, and you're always going to have the same hairs on the outside of the dreadlocks. This means that instead of the sunlight getting distributed among all your hair, it's going to get concentrated down on just the hairs that are on the outside of dreadlocks. You also tend to keep your hair around a lot longer with dreadlocks. With regular unlocked hair, people will generally grow their hair to a certain length and then the hair will either get damaged or broken, or they will trim it to keep it at that length. With dreadlocks, however, people can grow their hair out for years, turn that hair into dreadlocks, and then grow it out for even longer. This means that a set of dreadlocks can contain hair that is many, many years old, and that means that that hair has had a lot longer to spend in the sun, soaking up sunlight. On some examples, you may be able to notice darker roots and lighter tips. That is because the hair at the tip is older than the hair at the root. At the root, your hair will grow out its natural colour. At the tip, it will have spent all the time it's taken for it to grow down in the sun, and that's why you can notice sometimes a gradual fade. Some people are going to notice a much greater sun bleaching effect than other people. It's going to depend very much on the individual. Some colours are going to fade a lot more than other colours. If you have a natural dirty blonde coloured hair, you may find that it sun bleaches quite easily to a light blonde colour, whereas if naturally you have a very dark coloured hair, the effects may not be as noticeable. My personal experience with sun bleaching is that the longer that I grow my hair, the slightly lighter it gets at the tips. I have naturally quite dark hair, so it doesn't have such a huge effect on me. I have sort of brown hair, and if I spend time in the sun, it starts to get a slight sort of really, really dark red colour when the light hits it, but the tips will get noticeably lighter than the roots. But it really depends on how long I've let the tips grow. If I've spent a long time trimming off the tips as they've grown, then obviously those tips are not going to have spent as much time in the sun. There are ways to boost the sun bleaching process. There are sun-in products, and you can also use lemon juice to speed up the sun bleaching process. There are, however, pros and cons, risks and benefits to using such products, so you should fully investigate those different products or methods before you decide whether or not it's going to be right for your hair. Okay, so I hope that shed some light on dreadlocks changing color over time. If you like this video, if you found it helpful, useful, enjoyable, you can click the like button. If you have any questions, comments, or queries about dreadlocks in general or dreadlocks changing color over time, feel free to leave a comment below and I will get back to you. If you'd like to see more videos from myself in the future, you can of course subscribe. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Farewell!